Part 1. The storm you didn't ask for. There are some storms in life that we never see coming. Some goodbyes are beyond our imagination. Some endings we never prepared our hearts for. Divorce is one of those storms. It comes like a tidal wave. Unannounced, unapologetic, and often unbearable. It shakes the foundation of everything you once believed was forever. And when it's over, you look around, and nothing feels the same. The silence feels heavier. The nights feel longer. The memories feel like ghosts haunting every corner of your mind. You question your worth, your identity, and your future. And worst of all, you question whether you'll ever be whole again. But let me tell you something that no one might have said yet. You are not broken. You are not unlovable. You are not weak. You are surviving one of the hardest things a human heart can go through, and that in itself is proof of your strength. Part 2. The pain that becomes your power. Divorce doesn't just take away a person, it takes away a version of you. The version that dreamed with someone else, who built a life around a shared future, who believed that love meant forever. When that version dies, it hurts like hell. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. Pain is a cruel but honest teacher. It shows you what you're truly made of. It exposes the cracks, but also the courage. It reveals how deeply you can feel and still rise. It shows you how to stand on your own when everything collapses. This pain, it's carving strength into your soul. It's shaping you into someone who no longer settles, who no longer begs to be chosen, who no longer fears solitude because they've discovered their own company. You didn't lose everything. You lost what was never meant to define you, and now you are free to redefine yourself on your terms. Part 3. The loneliness that awakens the truth. Let's talk about the loneliness. The quiet that screams louder than any argument ever did. The empty side of the bed, the empty inbox, the empty weekends. It's in these moments that the truth begins to whisper. Not the truth about them, but about you. Who you are when no one's watching. Who you are when there's no one to impress, no one to please, and no one to perform for. It's here you start meeting the real you. And at first, you might not like what you see because society never taught you to love yourself in pieces. But day by day, you begin to rebuild, not the marriage, not the past, yourself. And there's power in that, because once you love yourself and your loneliness, you'll never again beg someone to stay just to feel whole. Part 4. The freedom you never asked for, but needed. Divorce feels like punishment. But sometimes, it's protection in disguise. Sometimes the door slams shut not to hurt you, but to save you. From a life where you were shrinking, from a love that was one-sided, from a future that didn't honor who you truly are. Now you have a freedom you didn't ask for. But maybe, just maybe, it's the freedom you always needed. The freedom to laugh again without walking on eggshells. The freedom to explore your passions without guilt. The freedom to grow, to change, to dream wildly. The freedom to say, this time I choose me, and mean it. Part 5. This is not the end. This is the becoming. So here you are, standing in the ashes, and you have two choices. You can let this break you permanently, or you can use this to become more than you ever imagined. Because divorce isn't the end of your story. It's the end of a chapter, yes, a hard one, a painful one. But the next chapter, that's up to you. You can rebuild, you can rewrite, you can rediscover the parts of yourself you forgot. You can create a life so full of peace, joy, self-respect, and meaning that one day you'll look back and say, I didn't just survive that. I became who I was always meant to be because of it. This is not a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. This is the moment where your healing begins, where your strength is born, where your voice returns, where your soul starts singing again. You are not a victim of love. You are a warrior of rebirth. You are walking into the greatest version of yourself, step by step, day by day. Part 6. Rebuilding without apology. You don't need to apologize for starting over. You don't need to feel guilty for choosing peace over chaos. You're allowed to rebuild your life in a way that makes sense to you. Not your parents, not society, not the people who never lived your pain. You're not selfish for wanting happiness again. You're not wrong for letting go of what no longer served your soul. You did what you had to do to survive. Now you're doing what you must do to thrive. Don't apologize for healing at your own pace. Don't apologize for putting yourself first, because for too long, you lived trying to hold something together that was tearing you apart. This chapter of rebuilding, it belongs to you. So write it loud, write it proudly, and don't you dare feel small about any of it. Part 7. The grief that no one sees. People talk about the grief of death, but they rarely talk about the grief of divorce. Because your person didn't die, but they left. The dreams didn't die, but they vanished. The memories didn't fade, but they now hurt. Divorce is a living grief. You walk through your day with a broken heart, while everyone expects you to carry on like nothing happened. But inside, it feels like everything did. You mourn the laughter, the rituals, the us that was supposed to last. You even miss the parts you hated, because they were still yours. That grief, it's real, it's valid, and it doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. So cry, scream, break if you must. Because healing doesn't come from pretending, it comes from feeling. And you, my friend, are allowed to feel it all. Part 8. Rediscovering your light. There was a time you used to laugh without effort, dream without doubt, walk with confidence. Somewhere along the way, you lost that light. You dimmed it. You gave it away. You waited for someone else to shine it back on you. But now you're learning to hold your flame again. It might flicker at first, it might feel small, but even a single spark can ignite a fire. You're rediscovering your strength, your voice, your passions. You're learning to be your own best friend, to take yourself out, to treat yourself gently, to celebrate your smallest wins. This isn't selfishness. This is self-reclamation. You're not just healing, you're glowing again. And this time, the light comes from within. Part 9. Letting go of the what-ifs. What if I had tried harder? What if I had stayed longer? What if things had changed? These questions are poison wrapped in guilt. But here's the truth. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. You gave your love. You gave your time. You gave more of yourself than anyone will ever fully understand. But love isn't supposed to cost you your peace. It's not supposed to break you over and over just so you can keep it. Let go of the what-ifs. Let go of the shame. Let go of the hope that the past could have been different. Because healing doesn't happen in the rearview mirror. It happens when you look forward and say, I forgive myself. I release the past. And I allow life to begin again. Part 10. You are still worthy of love. Divorce doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're unlovable. It doesn't mean your story is over. It just means you've learned. It means you've outgrown something that once fit. It means you're brave enough to leave what was hurting you. And let me remind you of something sacred. You are still worthy of love, of deep, honest, nourishing love from others, and more importantly, from yourself. Don't let one broken relationship make you forget your value. Don't let someone else's choice make you doubt your magic. You are still someone's dream. You are still your miracle. And the right kind of love, it will never ask you to shrink, settle, or suffer. Until then, give that kind of love to yourself. Part 11. The rise that no one saw coming. People saw the heartbreak. They saw you fall. They whispered about your pain. They doubted your comeback. But they didn't see the sleepless nights where you talked yourself out of giving up. They didn't see the mornings you got out of bed when everything in you wanted to stay buried under the weight of sorrow. They didn't see how you kept showing up for your kids, for your work, for your future. They didn't see the silent fight. But they will see the rise, because you're not just rebuilding a life. You're becoming a force, a story of hope, a walking testament that pain doesn't win unless you let it. And you chose to rise. Let the world watch in silence as you rebuild louder than their judgments. Part 12. The quiet power of starting again. There's something sacred about starting again. It doesn't feel exciting at first. It feels empty, lonely, like you've been handed a blank canvas. when all you really wanted was your old painting back. But with time, you begin to realize this blank space isn't a curse, it's a gift. You now get to choose how your life looks. You get to fill the silence with your voice. You get to build something that reflects who you truly are, without compromise. Starting over isn't a weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing you deserve more. It's the courage to walk away from the familiar in pursuit of something true. And in this silence, in this blank space, you're not alone. You're becoming. Part 13. Healing doesn't mean you're over it. It means you're owning it. Healing isn't some magical day where you wake up and feel nothing. It's not a moment where all the pain disappears. It's not forgetting. It's not pretending. Healing is waking up and still feeling the weight, but carrying it with grace. It's feeling the triggers and breathing through them. It's feeling the triggers and breathing through them. It's hearing their name and no longer losing yourself. Healing is walking into your old memories and realizing they no longer own you. It's no longer blaming yourself for everything that went wrong. It's learning to tell the story without breaking down. You may never get over it, but that's not the goal. The goal is to own it, to rise from it, to become wiser because of it. That's what real healing looks like, and you right now are doing it. Part 14. You didn't lose love, you lost what wasn't meant to stay. It's easy to believe you lost love, but what if you didn't? What if you simply lost someone who couldn't carry it? What if it wasn't love that left them but fear, ego, immaturity? Real love doesn't abandon you when it gets hard. It doesn't punish. It doesn't betray. It doesn't keep you small. You didn't lose love. You lost the illusion of it. You lost the need to chase it. You lost the belief that your worth depends on someone staying. And now you are wide open for a deeper love, for a freer love, for a love that begins with you. You don't need to search for it. Just become it. And what's meant for you will recognize you. Part 15. Your kids are watching you rise. If you have children, listen closely. They don't need a perfect parent. They don't need a fairy tale. They need to see you getting back up. They need to see what strength looks like when life falls apart. They need to see tears and still see bravery. They need to see pain and still witness love. They need to watch you rebuild brick by brick, so they know it's possible for them too. You're not just surviving for yourself, you're modeling healing. You're teaching them what self-respect looks like. You're showing them what happens when someone refuses to stay broken. Your children will grow up and say, "My parent didn't give up. My parent didn't settle. My parent showed me what real courage looks like." And that's a legacy worth building. Part 16. You are allowed to be happy again. You might feel guilty for smiling again, for laughing, for planning vacations, for falling in love with your life. But hear this. You are allowed to be happy again, even after divorce, even after heartbreak, even after being hurt so deeply it felt like you'd never recover. Your happiness is not betrayal. It's your birthright. You deserve joy. You deserve peace. You deserve a life that makes you excited to wake up. Don't let guilt keep you in a cage of the past. Let your heart open again, not because you need someone else, but because you've come home to yourself. Part 17. Forgiveness doesn't mean they deserve it. It means you deserve peace. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. It's not pretending you weren't hurt. It's not letting them back in. Forgiveness is saying, "I refuse to let this pain poison the rest of my life. I will not give you the power to ruin my future. I deserve peace. I deserve freedom. I deserve to move on." You forgive not for them, but for you, because resentment is a prison, and you are not meant to live there. Let it go. Let it all go. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Part 18. You're not behind. You're becoming. The world will try to convince you that you're behind. Behind in marriage, behind in happiness, behind in life. But here's the truth. There is no timeline. There is no race. There is no clock ticking on your healing. You are not behind. You are right on time for your becoming, for your awakening, for your next chapter. Some people peak early. Some people settle early. But you are rising slowly, powerfully, intentionally. And when your moment comes, it will be breathtaking because you didn't rush it. You earned it. Closing lines. You thought the end of your marriage was the end of you. But let me remind you of something powerful. Ruin is the road to transformation, and divorce didn't destroy you. It revealed you. To every divorced soul listening to this, you are not behind. You are not less. You are not hopeless. You are rising. You are healing. You are becoming someone powerful. Your future isn't canceled. It's just been rewritten. And guess what? It's going to be beautiful. Listen, world. If this speech touched your heart, remember to subscribe and share. This is where broken hearts find strength. This is where pain becomes power. This is your home. This is Listen World.